Alrighty, well, we will get started. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining our webinar today on what exercise programs can I connect with to reduce falls. This is the last of our 5-part series on active steps you can take to identify risk factors related to impaired balance and how you can prevent falls. We hope that you've had the opportunity to join us for several or even all of these lunchtime link and learn topics during the Fall Prevention Awareness Week. My name is Karen Cohn, and I will be your moderator for today's session. We ask at this time to make sure that your microphones are kept off during the presentation. You're welcome to keep your video camera on, but if you find your connection is poor, you may want to turn the video off. Both of the controls for your microphone and video are on the lower left corner of your screen. And if you're calling in by phone, you'll press *6 to both mute and unmute your phone. We'll have someone on our end that may also be able to assist you with this action if you're having some trouble with it. As you think of questions for our presenters, use the button at the bottom of your screen to type in your question. We will answer all questions either live or in the chat following the presentation. You may also click on the raise your hand icon at the bottom of your screen, and we'll assist you in turning on your microphone to ask your question at the appropriate time. If you're calling on your phone, we'll give you an opportunity to unmute and ask questions as well, using that *6 function when prompted. So now I would like to present our speakers for today's presentation. Ruth Murillo received her undergraduate degree in dietetics at Missouri State University in Springfield, Missouri. She then finished a dietetic internship through the University of Oklahoma Health Science Center in Oklahoma City. To become a registered dietitian, she took and passed a National Board Certification Dietitian exam. Ruth worked as a clinical dietitian in a hospital in Joplin, Missouri for 4 years before moving to her current position as the registered dietitian nutritionist for the YMCA's in Fort Worth. As a licensed and registered dietitian in the state of Texas, she's an expert in nutrition. She enjoys the opportunity to help the people of Fort Worth live healthier lives through proper, balanced nutrition. And Kim McFarland. Kim is the Trauma Injury Prevention Coordinator for Texas Health Fort Worth, a Level 2 trauma center. Kim has 18 years experience as a nurse and has worked in multiple care areas, including trauma intensive care unit, transplant coordinator, school nursing, high school health science teacher, and injury prevention. In her current role, Kim collaborates with the community representatives to develop, implement, and evaluate community injury prevention programming. Kim serves on several community committees that address injury prevention, including serving as the chair for the Injury Prevention Committee at the North Central Texas Trauma Regional Advisory Council. Thank you again for joining us today, and I will now turn it over to our presenters.
Thank you so much, Karen. I'm excited to be here today. So yes, just like you said, we're going to be talking about what exercise programs can you connect with that will help you specifically reduce the risk of falls. And that's so important because it is something really hands-on, something tangible, active steps that people can take to reduce their own risk of falls. So I'm excited to be with you guys today and talking about this. I'm going to cover why physical activity is important. You know, we all hear we should exercise and move more, but really why is that and what role does that play in preventing falls? I'm going to talk about some of the programs available through the YMCA, and then also just touch on our locations and some membership information, because I know we always get questions about that. And then for the second half of my presentation, I'm going to focus specifically on our Enhanced Fitness program, which is an evidence-based program that is really beneficial in helping individuals prevent the risk of falls. And then I will also cover what you can do from home. I know not everybody's comfortable getting out and about quite yet, so there are some resources of things you can do right where you are right now to reduce your risk of falls. All right, next slide. So why is physical activity important? You know, it's good to know the science behind it. You know, we hear those kind of things like move more and exercise more, but really why, and you know, what's really the science behind that? There was a huge meta-analysis done comparing 26 different scientific studies on this specific topic with falls. with almost 5,000 participants, and it showed a 32% reduction in falls following an exercise program. So when individuals were able to engage in regular physical activity, there was a really significant, documented improvement in their health, to the point that it really lowered their risk of falls, 1/3 almost lower risk of falls. So that's huge. That shows you, what a big impact that this can have. And some of the reasons behind it, of course, you exercise, you want to get stronger, you're using weights, you're building muscle, increasing strength and flexibility is really a key there in helping to prevent the risk of falls. And then right hand in hand with strength and flexibility goes balance. And so when you can improve your balance, you're more steady on your feet, you're going to really reduce your own risk of falls just through improved balance. And then increasing how long you can be active. This is more the endurance or the stamina behind it. If you can move for longer without becoming fatigued, you're going to lower your risk of falling just from that alone. So a lot of great benefits to physical activity and the science to back it up. So that's really encouraging. Go ahead, next slide. So the YMCA is in Metropolitan Fort Worth. That's who I'm with. And we have a lot of different programs for seniors and have had those for many, many years. Of course, the Silver Sneakers program, you may be familiar with that. We offer a variety of different group exercise classes, that's what I'm trying to say, designed specifically for seniors of all levels. So they can be modified for those who are just starting out with exercising, or those who have been active for quite a while. They can be made to be more challenging, to really push yourself and make improvements in your physical health that way. Of course, our water aerobics programs, we have both indoor and outdoor pools, just depending on the location. So that's one that's really low impact and really beneficial for our seniors. I know they really enjoy that. Chair yoga, where you don't have to get down on the floor and trying to get back up again, but you can have the comfort of utilizing a chair in an exercise class where you can still improve your flexibility and do that stretching and those kind of things while still feeling comfortable in the class. And then we do have personal trainers for those who have had a specific injury, or especially if they have already had a fall, they may want to work one-on-one with a professional to really get the assurance that they need if there are specific muscle groups or areas that they want to work on, or, if it's an injury they've had in the past, we have professionals that can help make sure they're not going to re-injure, or, help offer the support they need to strengthen surrounding muscles and those kind of things. I know, unfortunately, due to COVID, a lot of our active older adult events, the social gatherings and things, have been canceled or have gone virtual. But I've been really impressed that people are, being flexible. They're willing to, go about things a little bit different. And the Y has continued to be able to offer some of those active older adult events that really helps with even other things outside of preventing falls, but the social isolation and those kind of things. Indoor walking tracks, I wanted to highlight that because I know the weather is not always cooperative for getting physical activity outdoors here in Texas. And so there are indoor walking tracks that are well lit and flat, smooth surface. You're not going to have as much risk of having uneven pathways and rocks or roots or things like that crossing your path that would prevent a risk of a fall, like you have maybe at a park or an outdoor area or in your neighborhood. So those indoor walking tracks can be really beneficial for those trying to increase their walking. And then our enhanced fitness program, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later on. All right, next slide. So this is just a little map of Fort Worth and the locations here. We have 9 membership branches throughout Fort Worth, where these programs and similar programs are offered for our seniors to help prevent falls. Many people are familiar, if you've lived in Fort Worth for long, with the YMCA, the turkey trot every year and things like that. And so just reconnecting, making that, decision to get active yourself and to just connect with a Y that's near you. Those programs vary by location, so you do kind of have to reach out or, check the website. We do have all that information up online. And then I know with COVID, of course, we had a lot of questions, but we did officially reopen starting June 1st. We're completely open. They are practicing social distancing in our facilities. We're requiring mask wearing, of course, doing lots of sanitizing, and they have a limit on the number of people that can participate in any one class so that they can guarantee people are spaced out. You're not crowded crowded in there. So if you've gone to a Silver Sneakers class in the past through the Y, you know, you might have had a packed house, 20, 30 people in there, because they are so popular and so beneficial with our seniors. But, you know, we're putting limits on that and doing everything we can to try to make sure that we're still helping people stay active and get active, but keeping everybody safe as well. So that's just a little update on, you know, kind of what we're doing here at the Y. All right, membership information. I included this just because I know I get so many questions for those who are looking to become more active on what's available at the Y. So there are some insurance benefits that do cover a Y membership, you know, and that may be called Silver Sneakers, Renew Active, or even some health savings accounts will offer reimbursement for gym memberships. And so that's something to look into. Of course, it would just depend on you individually, but that's just something to keep in mind. Another thing that I think is incredible is the Y offers an open doors program that is a one-step financial aid. So if you qualify for certain government financial aid, you can just bring proof of that and you can qualify for 50% off your membership based on need. And so that's something that is available to anyone at any location. And then if you don't, you know, qualify for either of those things or have those, just a regular traditional membership, we do offer senior pricing. So it's at a discount for our seniors. And you can do as an individual or as a couple, and I have the rates there for you. So there's that info. All right, next I'm going to kind of transition and talk about our Enhanced Fitness program. Enhanced Fitness is designed to be safe for physically deconditioned older adults. So that's really reassuring because no matter where you're starting from, you know, a program like this can really meet you where you are and improve your physical activity level from there. And then it's also beneficial for our active seniors who are already being physically active and really any adults with arthritis. That's what this program was really initially designed for, was to benefit individuals with arthritis and in partnership with the Arthritis Foundation. But then in practice has been shown to help reduce risk of falls as well. So really a double benefit there. And then we have a short YouTube video that really does a great job kind of summing up that program. So I'm gonna let you guys watch that. Uh-oh, Noah, we can see it, but we can't hear it. It may be because you're muted. I'm not sure.
You might be a genius.
All right, try again. There we go. Thank you.
Enhanced Fitness is a class to help you stay active, to challenge you to try new things, and to lead an independent lifestyle. It really fits a lot of different groups, a lot of needs, and we modify so that if you are sitting in a wheelchair, we figure out a way to make it work. The Enhanced Fitness program is a program that is evidence-based. We start out with a little fitness assessment, and in 16 weeks, we do another one. And at the end of 16 weeks, we actually get a report. And so what we see is we see improvement. We make it a place where everybody feels comfortable, everyone is challenged, and everyone feels like they have a place in the class.
I was in physical therapy, which ended last December. And I talked to my therapist about what could I do to continue the progress that I made. She suggested that I come over to the Y and get into this class.
I was diagnosed with a particular condition that meant I needed movement, and the class provided that for me.
We always start with a warm up, and then we do some balance exercises and cardio. We go into arm and leg weights. This class is endorsed by the Arthritis Association, and so you're not having to hold weights. You can put them around your wrists and still participate. And then after weights, we have just some stretching and cool down.
My balance has improved, my muscle tone, because we're using the arm weights and leg weights. I have built some muscle in my arms and legs both.
I enjoy it. I like coming, gets my day started.
I mainly have noticed confidence, I think, in moving. And I always, you know, walked a lot and things like that, but I fell once or twice, tripped, you know, and then just, you know, your confidence you just don't feel the same. So this has helped with that.
They're my friends, we're a family, and they're involved in my life, and they give me advice.
It's a great group of people, very diverse professionals and retired people. So it really is fun.
I'm a recent widow, and so this was a way of getting out and having something I could do and would enjoy. So that's really, in many ways, what I get out of it, in addition to keeping my physical strength.
We miss people when they don't show up today. We were kind of going through the people that weren't here today. So it really is important for everybody to show up.
It passed the time before you know it. You know, an hour seems hardly enough, but it's enough, but it seems hardly enough because it goes so fast. The days that I don't come, I feel something is missing.
This is fun. It's a community.
Cool.
All right. Thank you, Noah. There we go. All right. And then you can go to the next slide. Oh, there we go. Go back one. Did we miss one? There you go. Thank you. So I hope you enjoyed that video. I think that's really good to hear from actual participants. That was in partnership with the Ys in Austin, but those are real instructors. Those are real participants who agreed to be a part of that program and agreed to be part of that video. I just know it means so much more when you can hear personal stories of people that have gone through it and their experience with it. So I hope you enjoyed that. So the class structure, you may have caught this in the video, but classes are an hour long, and each class goes through this kind of pattern where there's a warm-up, they do movement, so they kind of consider that the cardio, you're physically moving, there's music, you know, there's a cool down after doing that cardio, and then they transition to strength training. So you saw those ankle weights and wrist weights, and those are optional. If you start out and you're not in a place where you're ready to use weights, you can do it without the weights, and then they vary in size. You can do, you know, lighter weights or heavier weights, but they are made in a way to be more comfortable with the movement. And so, you know, you're not going to strain or hurt yourself. All of the weights, even the heaviest, you know, I think is still really pretty reasonably light. And so it's going to challenge you to do some strength training, but not overexert. You know, you're not going to be bulking up or, you know, lifting weights in a typical sense. So it's made really functional for people. And then of course, doing stretching and activities they mentioned, like with balance and to stay limber, that's so important. And that's always incorporated in that program as well. And where it is offered, it's offered 3 times a week. So members have an opportunity to come and participate in that program multiple times throughout the week. So they're really getting in the habit of moving more and regularly doing both strength and cardio exercises, which is just so important to get the whole picture, to have a more comprehensive kind of approach. I think one of the participants in the video specifically mentioned, you know, she had previously done some walking, but hadn't done a structured program like this. And it, you know, just physical activity alone, it may be enough or it may not. It may not incorporate all of the different components of exercise that you're looking to incorporate. And so, you know, a program like this that's evidence-based and structured is going to make sure and cover everything, you know, cover all your bases so that you're really getting what your body needs. All right, next slide. So these are specific benefits that actual participants reported when they asked people, you know, what did you get out of the program? What did you enjoy? What did you experience? And these are some things that they listed, which I think is awesome. You know, more energy. Who doesn't want more energy? Better balance, of course. Upper and lower body strength, flexibility, range of motion. Those things are so important just for quality of life, getting in and out of a vehicle, dressing and undressing, you know, just going about house cleaning and, you know, your regular activities, being flexible and having a wide range of motion is really helpful with that. Improved sleep, I know that's huge, so beneficial for your health, you know, to be able to get better sleep, and that physical activity helped with that. Sorry about that. Better mood, improved mood, kind of that social engagement component of it, and a sense of independence, you know, helping seniors feel more confident that they can do things on their own, they're not going to fall, they're strong enough, their balance is enough. I think that's awesome. So that was things that actual participants had reported. All right, next slide. Some of the evidence behind the evidence-based part of the program, you know, this is based on actual scientific evidence, and some of the biggest three things that stuck out to me was an actual documented decrease in healthcare costs, which I know is so important. Healthcare can be so incredibly costly and such a burden on especially our seniors. So a $1,700 decrease in healthcare costs when participants experienced something like enhanced fitness at least once a week. They noticed, you know, over the next year's time that they did have a significant decrease in their healthcare costs. So who doesn't want $1,700 back in their pocket, right? And then the 43% reduction in incidence of disability over the next 18 months. So again, they followed these participants for a year and a half after participating in this program, you know, and again, almost a 50% reduction in the incidence of disability. And so, you know, these people, you know, got healthier through this program and stayed healthier. You know, they saw the value in physical activity and continued with it likely. And that had a huge impact on their health in all kinds of different ways. And then a decrease as well in age-related decline. So again, you know, really reversing the negative effects of aging through getting and staying physically active. So these are just specific things that were documented as a part of this specific program, the Enhanced Fitness Program. I think those, you know, they kind of speak for themselves. They're really big numbers. You can't argue with that. Go ahead, next slide. All right, so this little bit for you guys is, I know there are still individuals who do not feel comfortable getting out and about, or they may be, you know, immune compromised or have concurrent conditions that make it unsafe for them to get out of their house right now. And there are other options for you. So even if you can't participate in something like the YMCA or the Enhanced Fitness Program right now, there are some other resources. The YMCA has a YouTube channel with exercise programs on there, actual filmed group exercise classes that you can do from home. And there was a whole series on there specifically made for seniors, you know, those senior programming that have the use of a chair and using things that you have at home. You know, you don't even have to have weights or bands or any kind of special equipment. You can do those exercises from the comfort of your own home. So that's awesome. And I have a link there if you wanted to access those. The Silver Sneakers Facebook page also posts videos on their Facebook page very, very frequently, and they're essentially little snapshots or segments of Silver Sneakers classes. And so these short little videos, things that you can do from home, different exercises or stretches or activities you can do that will help, you know, in those same ways of increasing range of motion, increasing strength, and those kind of things. The Arthritis Foundation is another, and they have a self-guided version of the Walk with Ease program that's available to anyone to participate in. So that's a walking program where you're documenting how often and how much you're walking. But by signing up online, you're kind of grouped in with other individuals. You get other tips and information, you know, available to you on pushing yourself, increasing your physical activity, you know, and you're documenting that, and they're, you know, using that data to, again, further programs like these. So those are just a few of the resources I wanted to say. You know, those are ones that I knew of just right off the top of my head, but there are so many more. And so don't stop there. If you have any amount of, you know, interest and motivation to get more active and to get moving, don't let being stuck at home, you know, stop you from that, because there are tons of resources online and otherwise that you can access just from the comfort of your own home until you are more comfortable and able to get out and about and be involved maybe in a more structured program like this. So, you know, I just really wanted to encourage people, don't hesitate, you know, find a program or find a, you know, a video or something that you can do right where you are. So almost, you know, removing that barrier of having an excuse, you know, trying to get moving regardless of your situation. So I just wanted to tell you guys about that. All right, I know we're a little bit early still. I went through pretty quick, but I did want to open it up to questions. You know, I've been with the Y for several years, as Karen mentioned, almost 5 years now. And so any questions about any of the programs I covered or even other programs. And then as Karen mentioned, I am a registered dietitian. So of course, if there's any nutrition questions or anything like that, I am happy to answer the best I can if you guys have any other questions for me. And I'll look here if there's any in the chat. Oh, okay.
Well, I do have a question. That was great information, actually. I appreciate you, Ruth, so much sharing about that. On the evidence-based program that you mentioned, the enhanced fitness, you said that I guess the evidence that you received, or the documentation about the decrease in age-related decline and that type of thing, you said once a week, so they actually can get that great of a benefit as little as once a week versus the 3 times a week?
Yes, so that was exactly, so I'll kind of restate it, but you know, the program's offered 3 times a week. Ideally, you'll come, you know, all 3 times if possible, but the benefit was shown when programs came at least 1 time a week, so 1 or more times per week. So it did apply even for participants who maybe couldn't make it all 3 days, but they could come 1 of the days or 2 of the 3 days. Yeah, they still saw that benefit, which is pretty awesome.
That is amazing. And is there a certain age that they need to be a part of this program? Is there an age range?
No, so there's not any specific age requirements. You know, as it was mentioned briefly in the video, but they do like a little short fitness test at the beginning and at the end. It's not anything too difficult, but they use that just to track progress. And so anyone can participate. They do that, you know, about once every 6 weeks, once a month, to recheck in on their fitness progress. But besides that, there aren't any like specific requirements to qualify.
Great. And there is a question in the chat box. I think you might have mentioned, but are you continuing programming now with COVID? And you are.
Yes. So we did take a long break. I will be honest, you know, we did cancel programming for quite a while. The Enhanced Fitness program is one that is not designed to be offered virtually. And so we did have to wait a little bit longer to kind of reintroduce that program through the YMCA. But what we have done now is they are utilizing like the gymnasium space. So these Ys that have a full basketball gym, and they have actually, you know, essentially transformed that into a group exercise class. So when you would usually have, you know, a small kind of studio to have a class in, we are now able to spread out through half the gym or the whole gym. So we can still have those same, you know, even 20 or 30 participants, but they're able to space out a lot more. So the classes are being offered at the YMCA. They're offered, you know, in person, and they are usually in a space like that that's quite a bit bigger, so they can be socially distanced.
That's excellent. That's great news for sure. Well, I don't see any other questions at this time, but you do have on the screen now, if folks would like more information, they can click on that link, as well as you gave us some great links on a couple of slides earlier. So we appreciate that as well. We want to thank everyone for joining us this week to learn more about preventing falls. By joining us, you have taken a step towards preventing falls. So we challenge you to continue this initiative by identifying some additional action steps that you may have learned this week. And even better, share these tips and encourage someone you care about to take some steps along with you. And I think on that note, one of the things in your video talked about, you could tell that that group was so engaged in what it was doing for their bodies, but also the social connection. And I think that's such a key part of us connecting with one another and staying in fellowship with one another, whether it be virtually or in person. And so that's just another added benefit. And those of you that joined today, I hope that you were able to tune into some of our other programs this week. This one does wrap up our week, but we sure got some great information, and we're looking forward to sharing this information with you at a later date. We'll be sure to send it out and allow you the opportunity to review it and to share it with a friend. So thanks everyone so much. Thank you so much, UNT Health Science Center, for hosting and making sure that we're all up and running well. And we just appreciate the partnership so much. And we just hope that each of you have a wonderful day and continue to stay active.